National character often shows up in cars as well. Italians love to live beautifully and without much worry. The French are drawn to the unusual. Germans are strict and methodical. And the Swedes, reserved people and a little gloomy, which is hardly surprising. The climate tends to shape that. That's why it's especially unexpected that a country like Sweden produced one of the most unconventional European cars of its time, the Saab 99. Sixten Säsen, the designer who shaped the exterior style of early Saab cars, was tasked with developing a new model in the late 1960s. At that time, Saab was producing its fairly successful but rapidly aging model, the Saab 96, and the new car was intended to replace it. The designer presented early sketches of the future vehicle in both a sedan and a two-door version. The new car looked nothing like previous Saab models. There was no trace of the familiar teardrop-shaped humpback body. Instead, it featured a proper three-box layout. The new model was meant to attract new buyers to the brand and open new markets for Saab. But the launch of the car was delayed by almost 5 years. The first running prototype of the Saab 99 went out for testing on April 2, 1965. For secrecy, it was disguised as a Saab 96 and painted in an inconspicuous gray-green color. The only thing that gave the mule away was the width of the body. It was about 20 centimeters wider than the original. Yet competitors and critics simply overlooked the strange car, which engineers had nicknamed the Toad. In 1967, the production Saab 99 was finally shown to the public at international motor shows. Sadly, Sixten Säsen did not live to see the premiere. He passed away just a few weeks before it. By the autumn of 1968, the new model was already available to buyers in Sweden, across Europe, in the always somewhat independent British market, and even in the United States. To meet American regulations, the car received 4 round headlights instead of 2 rectangular ones, along with side reflectors. Automotive journalists immediately took a liking to the new Saab. In their articles, they praised it enthusiastically, often comparing the boldness of its design to the groundbreaking Citroën DS. In reality, however, Saab and Citroën were not direct competitors. The Citroën belonged to a higher and significantly more expensive class. The real rivals of the Saab 99 were cars like the BMW 2002 and the Alfa Romeo Giulia. And next to the Saab, they seemed like vehicles of a previous generation. British test driver Archie Vicker wrote that the Saab 99 had a strikingly rational design and looked like an airplane on 4 wheels. Journalists praised its excellent ergonomics, high level of safety, and great visibility. At the same time, they criticized the modest engine and not the sharpest handling, but the brakes were excellent. Disc brakes on all 4 wheels. Prices for the new Saab started at 18,385 kroner. The base version came with a 1.8-liter carbureted engine and a manual transmission. In terms of equipment, it was very basic. Simple cloth upholstery, less sound insulation, and only a minimal set of instruments in the cabin. However, in 1972, this version was discontinued, and buyers looking to save money now had to opt for the slightly better equipped and more expensive GL version, which offered improved interior trim, better sound insulation, and a full instrument cluster with a tachometer. For any car, what really matters is what lies under the hood. And the engine lineup of the Saab 99 was quite diverse. The first engine installed in the new Saab was the Triumph 1.75-liter unit, an inline-4, essentially half of a large V8. Mounted on top of the gearbox and turned with the flywheel facing forward, the powertrain layout of classic Saabs often surprises people seeing it for the first time. In practice, however, it proved to be a very practical and service-friendly design. These Triumph engines produced 80 horsepower and were equipped with a progressive electronic fuel injection system. In 1970, the car received a new engine, a 1.85-liter unit from the same British manufacturer. In 1972, Saab began producing its own engine based on the Triumph design. A small batch of 1.9-liter engines served as a transitional step. They were still very close to the original and inherited many of the same reliability issues. The first truly Saab engine was the so-called B engine, with a displacement of 2.0 liters, produced from 1972 to 1981. This engine was offered with several different fuel systems and produced anywhere from 99 horsepower with a single carburetor to 143 horsepower in the turbocharged version, which we will discuss a little later. In 1972, the top version of the model became the EMS, Electronic Manual Special. It was available only as a two-door coupe. The car had a distinctly sporty character, with a stiffer suspension and metallic paint, still something of a novelty at the time, and it could reach a top speed of 170 kilometers per hour with its 118 horsepower engine. But the most important version of the Saab 99 was, of course, the turbo model. It is often said that Saab was the first company to build a production car with a turbocharger. In reality, that title belongs to the Oldsmobile Jetfire. The confusion exists because Saab was the first to make a turbo engine work smoothly and effectively in everyday driving conditions. The problem was that a turbocharger does not spool up immediately, what drivers call turbo lag. Turbocharged race cars of the 1960s would leave the starting line like an overloaded bus, and only later, when the turbo finally came alive, did the real acceleration begin. Saab engineers managed to make the car accelerate confidently even before the turbo reached full boost at around 3,000 revolutions per minute, and then continue pulling strongly once the turbocharger joined in. Thanks to this achievement, Saab gained worldwide recognition as one of the pioneers of practical turbocharged road cars. The Saab 99 Turbo could accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 9.2 seconds with 143 horsepower. For those who wanted to leave the traffic lights faster than almost anything else on the road, and even quicker than Saab's aircraft cousins, there was the Saab 99 Turbo S. This version used a complex water injection system. The technology had been borrowed from aviation and was widely used in aircraft during the Second World War, but it was extremely rare in production cars. The water injection system added roughly 10 to 15 horsepower. Unfortunately, the golden years of the Saab 99 did not last as long as one might have hoped. In 1979, the Saab 900 entered the scene, and in 1980, the veteran Saab 96 finally left the production line after a remarkably long career. In its final two model years, it even received a facelift that looked somewhere between the Saab 99 and the new 900. The Saab 99 itself gradually moved into the shadow of the 900, although this did not happen overnight. The 900 was in fact a deep modernization of the 99. At first glance, the two cars looked quite different. Engineers extended the front section of the body, improved safety, redesigned the interior, and updated the suspension. Yet the basic structure, the platform and overall layout, still came directly from the Saab 99. With the arrival of the 900, Saab split its lineup. The 900 became the unquestioned flagship, a more expensive and more prestigious model. The Saab 99 took the role of the more affordable car and gradually turned into the entry-level model in the range. In 1981, the 99 received a facelift in the style of the 900, with new doors and an interior borrowed from the larger model. Only the GL version remained available. Then in 1982, after an engine update, buyers once again had access to the fuel-injected GLI version. At the same time, a 5-speed manual gearbox was introduced. In this form, the car remained on the production line until it was discontinued in 1984. During the final years of production, most Saab 99 cars were assembled not in Sweden, but in Finland, at the Valmet Automotive Factory. And in 1977, the president of Finland, Urho Kekkonen, received a special version as his personal car, the Saab Finlandia limousine. This car, stretched by 20 centimeters, was produced in only a handful of examples. It was a unique limousine in a wagon body style, and it was even equipped with a turbocharged engine. You have probably heard many times that some car became an iconic model in the history of a brand. Often, that phrase is used simply for dramatic effect, and the car itself is not really that significant. But in the case of the Saab 99, the description is absolutely justified. Over 16 years of production, nearly 600,000 cars were built. By the standards of companies like Ford or Volkswagen, that may not seem like a huge number, but it is important to remember the scale of the Swedish manufacturer. The main markets were Sweden, the United Kingdom, Finland, and the United States. The American market proved especially important, where Saab was selling tens of thousands of cars per year, a serious achievement for a relatively small Swedish company. But sales figures are not even the most important part of the story. Saab positioned the 99 as an engineering-driven car for a thoughtful audience. This model ultimately defined the brand's engineering and design philosophy. It helped Saab establish a reputation as one of the safest car manufacturers of its time. The 99 also played a major role in popularizing turbocharging and helped the company reach an entirely new level of scale and recognition. After it came the era of the Saab 900, a car that for many people became the true symbol of classic Saab design. But now we know where that story really began.